Episode 4 of Trash Talk. Officially underway, on the way to get my bucket. Already got my first bonus pick though. Stay strong. Lil Red. Lil Red wants you to stay strong, folks. To my street fam, thanks for being here for me. I'm grateful for you. 4 is a 4, number 4. And you got girls, interesting. No, you guys, that's what I thought. Keeping me safe. I got you guys till I die. All flags, sides, all colors. Much heart, respect. Feel, keep it gangster. Lil Red, aka Ariana. Oh, that's interesting. Twist. Oh yeah, that's some good trash. McDonald's cup. First drink container already, ding, ding, ding. Play with a slightly different angle of the camera today. Hopefully not be shooting up my nose as much. But it's also, the whole game changes once I'm holding my bucket as well, so. Oh, this is looking real shitty over here. Crew's already assembling. I'm not sure if you're fringers, but during the Fringe, I'm doing a show at Sport Manitoba. Every night at 9 o'clock. It's sort of like a mini version of the show you saw at Ashdown Market.
Okay.
But if you're fringers and you're just trying to start your night, 9 o'clock, Sport Manitoba in the Hall of Fame Museum. It's on Pacific. It's like very close to. We're right across the street. Sport Manitoba is right across the street from Nonsuch. So during the Fringe, we'll have a little bar set up in the Hall of Fame Museum, and it'll be the cheapest drinks you can get during Fringe. I promise you that. But yeah, anyway, just something to keep in mind. We're there every night. Yeah, no problem. We might actually have a great surprise guest today. This person could still bail, so I guess I won't say who they are yet, but had a little chance run in on Osborne yesterday. Looking forward to this. I'm way overhyping it. He's just a dude. But it'll just be funny if a dude that I ran into while drinking actually comes out and does it. I think that'll be the greatest proof of all that Litter Pickens got something for everybody, you know? Super flat pack of darts. This area is darts. Remember this? Remember that's when we thought who we all were? No more. In the trash. What have you done for us lately, Jets? Oh God, I'm gonna get hit by traffic here leaning out like this. Fireball. Just can't get off this goddamn corner. So much trash. This is the site of what made me famous. Yelling at a homeless guy. Right here at this very spot. It's been an interesting week since then because that video has blown up. And definitely had some people walk by me and say, hey, you're Trash Talk. Which is not who I am. I'm Mike. I'm a human man, a man full time. But it does mean people. The funny thing is, the algorithm is so shitty. Like you can get 40,000 views on one thing, and then next video 400. So it's not like any of these people are actually becoming followers, subscribers, fans, even well wishers. A lot of people actually think I'm a piece of shit, either for being too harsh on the guy or not being harsh enough. The comments really just oscillate between you're not actually solving the problem and why didn't you chop his fucking hands off? I would have chopped his fucking hands off. And you know what, if that's if that's true, then I gotta say that has a lot more to do with you and what's going on in your life than what that guy was doing. I don't think that guy was a good guy, but I'm not sure he deserves to have his fucking hands chopped off. Definitely an interesting thing, and I don't want to spend, like I said, too much time making this specifically the Trash Talk the Homeless podcast, but obviously it is a topic of conversation, especially in the village. And yeah, I don't really get bothered by anybody and their strong opinions, but I will say there was one specific user, Declan something or other, and he was actually the first person to say, you're not really solving the problem, you know, but Yeah, look, I don't feel the need too strong to defend myself against this person. I will say, if they are watching, you're wrong. You made one comment with 3 huge just presumptions in it about what I was doing, what I want out of it, and how much better you would solve the situation. So look, if that's really how you feel, you're welcome to come talk some trash, but make your point. I'm not going to try and do anything aside from make my point, and at the end we don't have to agree. But I have a feeling you're not going to fucking show up if you even live in Winnipeg. But the point I actually want to make to Declan is you're just way too concerned with the comments, man. Everybody's just fucking zinging you, and you're going back for more and more. And yeah, you got to learn how to handle the internet, man, or else the internet will handle you. And right now you are getting handled, I would say. And you think you're fucking back, but you're not. You're getting fucked. I will tell you right now, based on the quality of your replies and the amount of them, you don't have you don't have the mental toughness that it takes to be on the internet. But that aside, yeah, your comments to me, I disagree that I did what I did to be righteous, that I didn't accomplish what I was trying to accomplish, and that I should have done more in a more constructive way. I think I knew exactly what I was doing. And what is actually kind of interesting is people think this is how I react. I tailored that response to that situation, which was that I know this guy's kind of fried, been doing a lot of crime. He's not going to stop. It really just needs to be made to feel like it's inconvenient to try and fuck with my building. But I tailored my response, and that's actually the second bike theft that I've stopped in the village. And I'm not going to tell this story to be here, but only to articulate that I do handle it on a case-by-case situation. I don't just walk up to every homeless person yelling, "I know your fucking problem, you're an idiot." As fun as that would be. But a couple summers ago, I was in the village, as I am, because this is my neighborhood, and it was about 10 o'clock. I just remember that the sun was setting, but it wasn't dark yet. It was still light, and it actually took place right across the street from the other bike theft. You can almost see the bike. It was right in front of the GSAC, literally across from the bike rack on Kumasushi, at Kumasushi, and it wasn't even dark yet, and a guy with no shirt on who looked real tweaked out took a traffic barricade, one of the sort of pommel horse things, and started using the long leg of it to try and pry a bike lock, just jam it through a U-lock and use the leverage to crank it free. And it was just so brazen. Like, there was people walking around. I was like 8 feet away from him, and this shirtless guy just started reefing on this U-lock. And yeah, I don't, you know, this guy has not been attacking my building. Seems like he's hardly even aware anything else exists in the world. So I didn't go super harsh on him, but I remember my first response would say, hey, leave it. You know, like you would, like I was channeling Caesar Milan, the dog whisperer. I was trying to use calm, submissive energy. I went, hey, leave it. It's not yours. It's not yours. Leave it. And he kind of glared at me, but I'm not even sure he glared at me. He like looked for a second, but he was just so in his own world that he just kept prying the lock free. And I remember thinking, all right, I don't know what to do here, but I do know I'm a little close. If he starts swinging that giant traffic barricade, I'm within striking distance. So I walked across the street to Leopold's, and I watched him prying it for another minute, and I remember thinking, he's not gonna get it. This isn't my problem. I'm okay to leave this. And just as I thought that, he popped the lock, and he had the bike free. And he started walking it away to the bus shelter that's at River and Osborne, the northbound bus shelter. And I could see him put it down, and he was just pulling the lock free of the spokes. He was just getting clear, and at this point, I'm watching him, and I know I really only have about 10 seconds till he gets this thing free. So whatever I'm gonna do, I have to decide that quickly. And I'm feeling all these feelings. I've had bikes stolen, you know, I know how shitty that feels. And so I start walking across the street, And just as I get to him, he's just gotten the lock free and he's just about to bike away. And I stepped up to him and I said, hey man, I'm not gonna let you leave. And that, I'm not saying that to sound tough because I didn't really have time to think of anything. And actually the only reason I said it is if you're familiar with the game The Last of Us 2, you'll know that that's a line from the final confrontation between the two main characters. I can't let you leave. And so, yeah, in my mind, I wasn't being tough. I was picturing a small lesbian protagonist from a video game. That's what I was trying to channel. Ooh, 2 super flat Michelob Ultras. Hello. Oh, so flat. Yeah, the picker gets everything. These pickers are unbeaten. Ding, ding, ding. So I said, I can't let you leave. But I didn't really have a plan. In my mind, I guess I would say that, and he would just be like, oh, this is too much work now, so I'll drop it and walk away. But of course, that's not what happened. He hardly even clocked my existence, and he just started biking away. He had a bike, and then he had the stolen bike. So he's biking and holding, and you can't really bike that fast in that situation. So I sort of stepped out with him in the street. I was like, no, don't, you know what, you don't do that. Like I remember saying, it's my friend's bike. Like I thought if I made it more personal, he'd realize, oh, I'm invested in this, I'm not gonna give up. But yeah, he didn't care. He starts biking, and we start, at the bus shelter river in Osborne. I'm jogging beside him for almost a full block, just talking to him, saying things like, it's my friend's bike, just drop it. I play soccer, I'm not gonna get tired. I said that to him. I was like, I will run beside you. And I was kind of trying to grab at his seat, but I didn't really want to grab at his seat because I didn't want him to crash and then get more pissed off. So now, because I went into this with no plan, now I'm just jogging beside this guy. And we're getting close to Roslyn. Like he's starting to probably realize this is gonna be a problem for him too. So he tried to put on some speed, and as soon as he did, he kind of wobbled and he clipped himself with the stolen bike, and he went over the bars, smashes into the ground, and he gets up and he yells, fuck! And I was like, oh God, I'm in way over my head here. So I grabbed the stolen bike, and he starts to get up and he's picking up his bike, and I can tell just from his body language, he's getting ready to launch it at me. And I remember saying, no, that's your bike. You still have one bike. Like I was trying to reason with him, like, you have the same amount of bike you did when you started. Don't worry, it's okay. But he chucks the bike at me. I'd love to tell you I dodged it. It was going wide. It was always going wide. He threw it in pure rage, but it went wide, kind of almost into the, well, it was the A&W. I guess, we were closer to like the Shell, the Max or whatever on the corner. And it goes wide into that parking lot. I don't watch to see exactly where it lands. I grab the bike and I'm running. And as I'm running up the street, an ambulance was coming. God, there's a lot of needle paraphernalia around here. As I'm walking up river, or running up river, holding the bike, running up Osborne. I'm running up Osborne holding the bike, and this ambulance is coming towards me. I think, oh great, some help. And then I look over my shoulder and I see the ambulance guys kind of clocking me and like looking at me. And I look over my shoulder and see the guy, he's still way behind. He's picking up his bike. He's not really chasing me. And I look back to the ambulance and I literally see the driver go like, the passenger went, like he was saying like, oh, so you've got this covered? And I'm yelling, I'm like, no, like fucking, I don't know what this guy's doing, help me. And they rolled down the window and stopped. And I was like, yeah, this guy was stealing this bike and I just stopped him and he's freaking out. And they were like, okay, well, you seem like you've got it under control. I'm like, I don't think I've got it under control. Oh, somebody had a bad night over here. But yeah, ambulance, basically, they just drive away. No help whatsoever. No, in fairness to them, I guess there wasn't really much for them to do at that point. The guy wasn't trying to murder me. He was just picking himself up, dusting himself off, getting his bike. And then I had this bike. And yeah, now I'm just standing in Osborne Village with a bike trying to figure out how to get it back. And now it just looks like I've stolen the bike. I was I was around River and Osborne for about 20 minutes to the point where guys start coming up to me going like, yo man, you selling that bike? And I was like, I don't know, give me another 15 minutes and maybe I am. But yeah, from there, the story is pretty much the same that I told to Tyler Penner on episode 2, where I had to wait around for a long time and some dizzler who was at Leopold started crowding me and not really helping me. And then when I actually found where it was, kind of taking credit, it was all a bunch of real pain in the ass. But all that to say, that was a situation where I didn't yell at a homeless guy, so you all don't know me. I did also stop one other bike theft outside the village, outside my current jurisdiction. This is when I lived on Langside. Langside, just south of Broadway. Sorry, just south of Portage. Between Portage and Broadway, I would argue that's one of the worst. You know, West Broadway is really gentrified, but that's still one of the worst blocks in the city. Bucket number 1. I'm dumping a bucket. You know what that means? We're shouting out Legacy Moving Company, ladies and gentlemen. Legacy Moving Company, bringing you the buckets this month. Our title sponsor. Call them for your commercial and residential needs. Legacy gets the big shout out every time we dump a bucket. I don't really know how sponsorship should work. I don't really have a plan, and now I've got at least one other Osborne business that's willing to sponsor me, but I've already got a bucket sponsor for this month, so like I don't really know how to monetize this thing. But I do know it has to be monetized because it's simply too good. Shout out to Tim Robinson and the driving crooner. Simply too good. But yeah, when I lived on Langside, I was in a duplex, and there's a Syrian family of 10 that lived above us, which was fun for noise purposes. And they would keep, I kept my bike locked up to the front yard fence too, which is pretty wild in hindsight, because yeah, we were next to all these rooming houses, and shit was always popping off. And one night I came home from a barbecue, comedian barbecue. I may have been on some substances, and well, look, I'll say it. I'd done mushrooms at the barbecue. It was a long time before though, so I felt like I was like kind of coming down, but like, you know, vision, sights, it wasn't 100%. So as I entered our yard, there was like a dark patch on the grass right near the fence, but I couldn't really tell what it was. And our yard was always messy. Shit would blow in there. The family of 11 Syrian immigrants would just have kids' toys and shit strewn all about. So I was walking to the yard and it was dark, and I was like, is that like a trash bag spread out on the lawn? And as I got almost right on top of it, I was like, no, this is a man lying on the grass right next to the kids' bikes that were locked up. And I said, hey man, what are you doing? And he went, oh, I'm just making sure your bikes are okay. I said, no, you're not, you're stealing that bike. And he was like, okay, yeah, but like, could I just have your bike? Or what did he say? Yeah, I must have said, can I have your bike? And I was like, no, you can't have my bike. You can't have that bike. Get the fuck out of this yard. And then as he stood up and he had bolt cutters that I guess were underneath him. That's why I didn't see him. And they were the biggest bolt cutters I ever saw. I was immediately like, wow, if this goes the other way, this guy could snip my head off with these bolt cutters. Like I have no idea. These were like what you would use to rob a bank or something. I realize bolt cutters aren't the tool for the job when you're robbing a bank. You're not gonna bolt cut your way through a safe, but you get the point. They were humongous. And I kind of just thought for a second, all right, let's again tailor our response to the situation. But yeah, it was pretty clear to me right away that this guy, he was kind of like, he was fucked up, and he was just embarrassed he got caught, and so I started just, I guess I do yell at homeless people, but this was a different kind of yelling. This was like more like shaming. I was like, man, like that's a little kid's bike. Don't take that. I remember saying, that's a little Syrian kid's bike. And he was just kind of shuffling off. And yeah, I remember telling him like, I know you live around one of these rooming houses. You're stealing from your neighbors, man. Don't steal from your neighbors. Leave this yard alone, all right? Tell all your friends, this yard off limits. And I remember thinking like, oh, now I'm the defender of this neighborhood. Like, word's gonna get out about this this guy who looks out for his block. 2 days later, they stole the bike. They stole the bike anyway. I told the Syrians too. I said in the morning, hey, I stopped a guy trying to steal that bike. You should move your bikes inside. I guess they didn't have the room. They kept locking them up. They stole that bike. And actually, months later, I didn't lock up my bike. Probably they stole my back tire too. So, yeah, they weren't intimidated by me whatsoever. And also, I will say, neither was this guy. If anybody thought I was berating that guy too harshly, I'll tell you right now, I meant absolutely nothing to that guy. Nothing I said impacted his self-worth. I was just trying to make it I might have made him think this place is not worth my time. That's all I was going for. But I you know, somebody can't really hurt you if you don't mean anything to them. I don't know if you've experienced that in your life, but I definitely have in mine. And yeah, the criticism of someone who means nothing to you is really not criticism at all. It's just fucking noise. So yeah, those are the stories of the 3 bike thefts in progress that I've stopped. Again, I'm not trying to say I'm a hero. That's not for me to say. That's for the people to say. What am I doing tonight? Tonight I am opening a last-minute gig for Kenny and Spenny of Kenny versus Spenny fame. I'm not sure if they still go up as Kenny versus Spenny. I hope they're not gonna go up and do the same goddamn shit they did. Not that what they did wasn't amazing. Original Kenny versus Spenny is maybe some of the best TV that Canada's produced, up there with Trailer Park Boys, and I haven't watched Schitt's Creek, but I'll acknowledge that it's probably phenomenal just based on the cast and the accolades and everything. I'm sure Schitt's Creek is good, but I never watched it. But I did watch Trailer Park Boys, and I did watch early Kenny versus Spenny, and we just never seen anything like it. You know, reality TV was new too. It was cutting edge TV, and just the ways that Kenny would find to be a piece of shit, and Spenny's patheticness, and I'm gonna meet these guys tonight. I hope they won't have seen this. They can't have. Oh, somebody had a party. Ding, 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 ding. Big bottle, Smirnoff Ice. Big ticket item, we call that. Yeah, I don't really know what kind of show they put on. I do know that they have some sort of insane booker situation. They didn't even think about having an opener. And they probably don't even need one. They could just walk out on stage and everyone would go fucking nuts. But at the last minute, the promoter said, "Oh, and who's the opener?" And then the booker said, "What do you mean? That's on you. You're putting the show together." And he said, "No, just find me an opener. I'll pay absolute dog shit." Hey, what up? How's it going? Good to see you. Yeah, here, yeah. Let's go back up the street and get you a picker and get you set up.
Please.
Actually, here, I can even get a mic on you right now, if that's okay. Can you hold that for a second? It's not, no, it's like, I'm on kind of the narrow view. We don't have a good system. We don't have a good system yet. It's,
That's fair.
yeah, the dream one day is to get a 360 cam.
Yeah.
Real obnoxious.
Those are really,
Yeah.
really long.
I'm walking with that above my head. Everyone's looking then. This is I gave a sort of half-assed introduction, said I might have a guest today, someone who I just encountered drinking on Osborne yesterday.
Yeah.
And this is that person.
That's me, Tyson.
Hey,
Well, I'm Tyson. I've been a local in this area for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, you weren't drinking last night. You were DD. You said,
Yeah,
right?
I was DD. So I wasn't actually drinking.
Yeah, but I think, like I said to the camera before, you know, just running into someone in the village, then the next day them coming out to pick. This is the dream.
This is
the dream. You know, I'm trying to show you. You run into people,
Yeah.
you do things, you feel good. I think that's what I'm doing.
I think so.
What I'm trying not to be is the homeless yeller. I've already addressed that on camera. That's not who I am.
Not deep down.
Not deep down. No, on the surface, if I have to be. But yeah, let's grab you a picker, and then let's see how much fucking ground we can cover here.
What's the weirdest thing you found so far?
You mean today or all the days? Well, one time I found a bottle of vodka and a coconut right beside.
Oh.
And it was like what were they trying to make some sort of, you know, coconut drink poured
Yeah.
directly into a coconut?
They were proposing that they were going to gas all the squirrels.
I don't remember that.
You don't
That
remember-
sounds completely.
Oh, that's true. It's true. I saw it. On
You saw
Facebook.
it? Okay. Oh, yeah, a lot of. I see a lot of things on Facebook. Apparently, yeah, there's a lot. Have you noticed this trend, like just fake AI movie trailers?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, according to that, there's going to be a fucking, you know, Great Gatsby sequel. You know. Anyway.
Oh wow. Yeah.
According to Facebook, a lot of things are going to happen. I wish I could have come up with a better example there. But hey, you know what? We're gonna edit stuff, Tyson. We're gonna look so fucking sharp and funny.
We're gonna be so smart.
Yeah, there's not gonna be a single dead line. That horse shit I just said, out. Have you ever used one of these pickers before?
I've used one once.
Okay.
Hey, you found a good one.
Yeah, so
Okay.
here you go, yeah.
Thank
This is
you.
gonna slow us down a little bit having one bucket, but I think it's a good system. So what I will say about the picker is it's super agile. You can grab lots, like it's easy to grab a cigarette butt on the fly, but I don't stress cigarette butts too much because you'd never make any progress.
No.
So, if you want to save your energy for the bigger ticket items, that's cool, but sometimes you're walking and the boulevard's already a little clean.
Like this guy.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Hey, no problem. Yeah. That was a good find.
Nice.
You're earning your stripes, detective.
Aha. Condom.
Was it, or is it just you just go to the Safeway parking lot every Sunday at 9 a.m. There's a guy named Danny. He's got his blue car, and yeah, but he posts up. If you can't make it by 9, show up at 10. He's normally in the area, and he'll give you a picker. Yeah, and you can search Trash Talk Winnipeg on YouTube. Trash Talk Winnipeg, and then that's what I'm doing here. Yeah, you're getting it.
Some butts.
Some butts. Yeah. Use your discretion. You don't get too bogged down trying to get every cigarette butt. Is basically the moral of the story.
That's so many.
Yeah. I feel like you got a real unnatural holding style for that bucket too. Is it? Are you just trying to make sure it doesn't get anywhere close to you?
Yeah, I just don't want it touching me.
Okay. That's fair. All right. Well, if your arm doesn't get tired, then that's your holding style.
It's a whole, workout. I'm getting a shoulder workout.
Yeah,
feeling good.
Lats, bro, your lats are looking fucking huge. Okay, well, this is the other thing that the reason I was actually excited to have you is you were kind of just a random encounter, but we know each other.
Yes.
Randomly. I didn't recognize you. I'm embarrassed to admit it, but you look like a completely different man now.
Completely different character.
Because we worked together. You got to believe. Trust your instincts.
You said no cigarette butts or no.
Oh, a pack. We got packs, but
oh my God,
you're overthinking
please.
it. Look, you're beginning. You got to just kind of. You just got to believe.
God.
You got to believe. See, you were trying to actually see. Oh, how's it gonna? You don't even have to see how it's gonna get it. The picker knows what it's doing. Just fucking grab it, bro. Yeah. So anyway, we met in 2022.
Yeah.
January 2022. I was working on a little film project called the Comedy Battle Royale.
Yes, it was.
And you were, what were you doing?
I think I was only a PA that day, but I was.
Don't denigrate yourself. You weren't only a PA. You were a phenomenal PA. I remember you picked me up, and then we went to the Park Theater where we were filming, and then we must have sent you on 3 different supply runs.
Yeah, a few.
into Osborne Village, the rush hour. We're like, hey, Tyson, we need more pens. Run out.
Yeah. And food, too. I think I had to run out for some food or something.
Yeah.
The day before, I
Twisted Tea. This is the #1 most littered can in the village,
it?
typically. Last few weeks, there's actually been a lot more neutrals and stuff, but we celebrate when we get a Twisted Tea.
So they're getting healthier, you think?
Yeah, well, I guess a neutral must be healthier than a Twisted Tea.
I think it's a slightly healthier option.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's all fucking poison.
They're still litter bugs, but
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. Doesn't make them a better person.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, they're still a real piece of shit if they're gonna throw their neutral on the ground or their Twisted Tea. But
Why? Who did this?
yeah, this is just again.
They
We're
wanted to make confetti with
They
this.
wanted to make our lives as hard as possible. We can get these big pieces. I will say, paper.
by piece.
It's got to be biodegradable, right?
Yeah,
We're not going to
something
stress
in
all
it.
the paper.
This plastic, though. I'm sorry, I was walking away.
No,
with
now
the
you know.
bucket.
No, I love that you're starting to get the vibe, right? It's fun. It's a little treasure hunt. This is what I'm trying to communicate to people. You start your Sunday with a burst of endorphins every time you pick up a piece of trash.
I'm getting it. I'm
Yeah.
beginning to believe.
How late were you out yesterday?
It's still about 2:30, I think. That's when I got back.
2:30, and look at you, 9 a.m. Fucking killing it.
9-ish.
9-ish,
I'm
yeah.
chronically late.
That's all right. Oh, I'm gonna get that cannabis wrapper.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, that was a thing I did that I was real proud. Again, I think I talked to you about this last night. All I really remember talking to you about was how excited I was that I discovered Red Swan Pizza.
Yeah.
My secret move. As someone who is drinking in the village way too often, I've been, getting fresh slice, and fresh slice is great, and fresh slice is immediate. But yesterday I wanted to take a chance on the Red Slice $5 personal pizza.
Yeah.
I was like, this seems like a good buy, but it takes like 15 or 20 minutes to make. So yeah, I ordered the pizza, went to Must Be the Place, crushed a beer, came back, pizza ready.
What was the beer?
I had the Kilter Lager that they have there,
Oh, yeah,
which
that's a
was
good
nice, clean, easy drinking beer. there was a drag show starting, which I will say did not seem well organized.
Oh.
If we're gonna trash talk, they were raising money, so good for them. But as someone who's done a lot of shows, I will say I'm hypercritical of just like the logistics of a show, the opening. I could tell they didn't know how to open their show. They knew what they wanted to do, which was show up and do some drag. You know, that's what they do. But
they needed a good PA.
They needed a good PA. Yeah, honestly, they needed a good director. They needed a good director. PA would have helped them. Mostly, they just needed someone to give them a little guidance. But they did eventually get the show rolling, and that's when I left because I don't need to see them clomping around. Just kidding. There you go.
Nice.
That's a big ticket item. Yeah.
Vodka.
I'll be right
No
up here.
coconut though.
No coconut, but could be coming. And anyway, yeah, I remember talking to you about a lot about the pizza, and then a little bit about how people have seen the clip, and that's the thing. And then there's just so many other things I've actually done that I care about, like the comedy battle royale, which you were a PA on. That was like kind of the first project I got to do for TV, and really proud of it. 0 views online.
Shout out to Newman Films and
Shout-
Folks
yeah.
Films.
Oh,
I think it was a combo effort. They were doing camera work for that.
Yeah, there was some Folks Films there on camera.
Should we enter the yard to get that, or is that
This yard
is that frowned
especially? No, I mean, go for it. This
Okay.
yard, I will say, is always a goddamn calamity, so I don't stress this yard too much. And yeah, typically, like, I won't really go inside of a fenced yard.
Yeah.
But, you know, a little wandering in is cool. But great question. Yeah, Lana from Folks Films was one of our camera ops. Newman Films was who I've worked with, Jeff Newman, great guy. But yeah, I've done that. I did another project this last year for 5TV called Hot Deals. That's Hey, no problem.
No problem.
And that was all about like the things that people sell on Kijiji and Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, yeah.
Super proud of it. Yeah, maybe 4,000 views altogether across every clip, whereas me yelling at a homeless guy, 40,000 views and counting. So you can't.
Well, I think people are fed up with their bikes being stolen.
It's true. I've obviously touched a chord, but it's not even that. It's just vitriol. Like the algorithm knows vitriol.
Yeah.
That bucket's looking pretty good, right?
It
You can
is.
dump
Should
that.
we
All right.
Dump it?
Yeah, you can do it. You want to do your first dump? Dump number
dump.
2, brought to you by Legacy Moving, bringing you the buckets this month. I have a sponsor. And it's a very informal arrangement, so I don't really know what they want me to do, so I just say
Shout out.
shout out to Legacy. Every time I dump a bucket, I say shout out to Legacy. Call them for your commercial and residential moves.
Brilliant. Yeah, let's just chuck that right in.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, it's just crazy that we worked together in that limited capacity years ago. I run into you, we share a slice, and it sounds like you're doing pretty good in your film career now. You said you're...
Yeah, I still get work and stuff. I've done a bunch of commercials and whatnot.
In what way? Have you like
Oh,
a
like
camera op
acting.
or?
I'm on camera for a lot
Okay.
of those gigs.
Nice. What's the commercial I would know you from?
I did a set of Dufresne commercials back in 2020.
Nice.
Right before the pandemic. I thought this is gonna be it. This is
This
my
is
year.
who I am. Yeah.
And,
No going back here.
No, it was great. I started it out in January. I thought it was gonna be
Little quail egg shell
Hey.
or something. Yeah. Hey. No, I mean it's we just volunteered 9 to 11.
Well, on 6:35 Mulvey, we're having a barbecue and like a party for a birthday party.
Okay.
But it's a community thing, right? So you guys are welcome to come if you like.
Okay.
4 p.m. 635 Mulvey.
635 Mulvey at 4 p.m. Thank you very much. I might pop in.
Oh,
Yeah,
Okay,
that'd
thank
be
you.
fun.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Hey, no
you.
problem.
Yeah, we need some positivity around here.
Hey, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no problem. This is why you litter pick, baby.
This is why we do
You
it,
get a
the
free
barbecues.
free burgers. That's the first time that's happened to me in 3 seasons. Aside from that, I can't even get a goddamn free slice of pizza.
I did last night.
Yeah, that's it. Man, for $5, I got to backtrack. That was a pizza with pesto chicken and spinach, and it reminded me of. You remember Panago? Like Panagos used to be everywhere. Now, like I don't
Yeah.
even know if that's still.
I don't think they exist.
I don't think that exists. But like when I went to University of Winnipeg, there's a Panago right there by what used to be Blockbuster.
Yeah.
And yeah, they had a similar thing. It was like a $6 lunch deal that came with a. Ooh, this is interesting. You're gonna learn something fun about litter picking. So these come in 4-packs.
Yeah.
So now
So
the
we'll find
question,
the
now
other
the question, now the hunt is on.
Where are
Now
you?
the hunt is on, Tyson. But yeah, it was so cheesy. It was like a premium pizza and 2 toppings, $5, can't miss.
Saucy.
Okay, anyway, back to your big break is in Dufresne ads.
Oh yeah. I just thought that it was gonna be a great year for me. Obviously, it wasn't for anyone, but
What was the role?
It was like a series called Adulting. Nice. A
Yeah,
puffer.
part of
Nice.
an inhaler. See, it's fun. Would you call that a fun find?
That is a fun find.
Yeah.
You never know what you're gonna get.
No, you don't.
It was a set of 4 commercials, so it was a few days of filming, which for commercials it's usually like a one-off thing, one day, then you're in, you're out, whatever. But they really liked it. They workshopped the script. It was pretty funny, very fun to shoot on set and everything. Yeah, Adulting.
Nice. So you were, I'm gonna guess, a kid who's like furnishing his first apartment, and it's like.
Yeah, it's like you're growing up for the first time.
That is a serious. I remember all the furniture I've bought, because you always think like, well, now I've got the couch situation sorted for the next decade,
Yeah.
right? Like.
It's like it was starting out with broken appliances. So one of the commercials, the premise was my appliance was broken. It was shot like an ED commercial.
Okay, that's funny.
So they wanted it to be tongue-in-cheek that my appliance is fixed magically from Dufresne. And then,
Did it start with you sitting on the edge of the bed and your girlfriend's behind you, and
Yes,
she's like, "Babe,"
yeah,
it happens
she's
all the
looking
time.
so upset.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was very fun, that whole shoot.
Can I find it on YouTube?
Oh yeah,
It's still out there.
nice.
I'm gonna-
Dodged him.
I'm gonna splice it into this this video, hopefully.
I dodged that bird like
Oh, you-
Trump dodged the draft. You know.
You could have said like Trump dodged that bullet. I mean, that's
No,
that's
no,
what
no.
I think of more when I think of Trump dodging things.
No, he is a draft dodger.
He is a draft. Sure, we should make sure that that's what people think of when they think of Trump and dodging.
Dodging
We shouldn't-
anything? He could not dodge a bullet. That's why he didn't go to war.
Well, look, he did. Look, I don't like the guy, but you got to give him credit. He's fucking his frantic head movements. I don't know what you call that if not dodging a bullet. He literally
saved him, yeah.
he literally dodged a bullet. Yeah, no, like, I don't love Trump, but the funniest thing about that was that it probably won him the election. Like it was badass. He gets up yelling, "Fight, fight!" Like, yeah, I got my dick hard. You know, I don't. How could you not get excited about that? And Bill Burr, my favorite comedian, had just a funny line about. I saw him at the Great Outdoor Comedy Fest like a month
yeah.
later, and he had the line about. He's like, Trump came up with the fucking energy of a substitute teacher. You know, like, who threw that? Like, that is a good line.
That is.
Yeah.
That is good.
Anyway, I didn't see you dodge the bird. I'm sure it was heroic.
No, not that heroic.
Not that heroic. Oh, bro, you walked right by a little.
Oh my god.
You gotta have soft eyes if you're gonna be in this game.
I was looking at this note. I just wanted to see what it was.
And that's what I'm saying. You lock in on things from a distance.
Friday, July 18th at 11:30 a.m.
Anything could happen. Well, you know what's
gonna
funny is
happen?
they're not gonna remember that meeting now because they don't have their sticky
They don't
note.
have this.
They don't have it. So, if you know who that was.
Shit, sorry. Just a quick reminder.
Yeah,
Friday,
right.
July 18th, 11:30.
Be there.
For what? I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so 2020. Tyson's never been hotter. Booking rolls.
That was it. And then
Pandemic
that's
hits.
where I peaked.
Funny because
And then TikTok. That's when I peaked.
I only started booking stuff. Are you big on TikTok?
I quit that app.
Okay.
I had
yeah.
to.
It was
it
a
was
waste
bad
of
for my
time.
health.
Yeah. I created a TikTok just to try and promote the comedy battle royale.
Oh.
And it got no traction. And I was like, fuck this app forever.
Yeah.
But it's funny that you got derailed by the pandemic because I only started booking stuff in the pandemic. The first commercials I got were mask awareness campaigns.
Oh.
Yeah, wearing his shot by Jeff Newman.
I actually saw those. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so funny.
Yeah, I had two. One where I was a hockey dad dropping his kid off, and like you kind of see us without masks, and then something crosses in front of the camera to mask out, and then we're wearing masks, you know.
Rubber band.
Rubber band, yeah.
Oh, no, I missed.
And then shortly after that one, I was in a Manitoba dentist's PSA, wearing is caring, same deal, like just
Yeah.
mask awareness. The funny thing about the wearing is caring is that I had done a couple spots and not really felt like I was able to relax and like be a good actor, even though, you know, those commercials, well, your commercial actually sounded like it took some chops, but like walking in as hockey dad took no chops, you know, like it was
Oh,
just,
yeah.
you hit your mark.
When it's the silent on camera roles, that's easy. That's a walk in the park. I don't even read the script.
Sure, it is easy, but I found myself being like, I want to like elevate this in some way. So
Yeah.
because I did this one hiking one and like I didn't really move that well, and I thought after like I could do more. So then next commercial I get is the Manitoba dentist one where they have us wearing masks, and they filmed our face close up, and then we were supposed to hold our phone over our masked face and it was like, we miss your smile. It was, so like basically there was very little I could do because I was just holding my phone in one hand. And the director, Jeff Newman, was saying like, okay, now give me like big eyes, and oh, give me surprise. And like, I remember thinking like, fuck, like I wish I could do something here. And I was like, well, I got it one hand free. So I gave fucking finger guns on one take, and I just heard Jeff from the back of the room by the monitor go, oh, I like that. And the finger guns, oh, and this cat is a great cat. Oh, these are two great cats. We know that's Tucker, and Chuck is the gray one. And
Chuck.
they're bros.
Oh my
and,
god. They look friendly.
They're super friendly. Chuck will jump up on your shoulder, and we always try and visit with them.
Come here.
Chucky, it's your friends, litter pickers. See, look how great Chuck is.
Cat content, that kills on the internet.
I know,
Still.
I'm really...
AI cat content is kind of taken over, but...
Yeah, AI slop. Chuck.
Hello, Chuck.
Chuck, it's a new friend, Tyson. Wow. Look at that. Is there anything greater
You are too cute.
than a friendly cat? Chuck is featured. Chuck is the most regular featured guest on Trash Talk. He's a big part of episode 1.
Hello.
Yeah, our hunt.
you, Chuck.
Chloe is my girlfriend. She normally does the walk with me, and like the whole point of our walk is really to meet
Chuck.
Yeah, to hang out with Chuck every time. And sometimes he'll do the walk with us.
Oh, what is this? A little waffle maker?
What
a
is
children's Barbie waffle maker.
that? Interesting.
I think it's garbage now.
Oh, it's trash. Throw it in the trash, baby.
It's going in the trash.
Yeah, that's if this show ever goes to series, that's gonna be the tagline. Everything ends up in the trash.
Eventually.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's funny. COVID derailed your career, and it really launched mine. Take me back to COVID, baby. Do you ever feel that sometimes? Like, it was, in Manitoba especially, like, that first wave wasn't that scary.
No. Wasn't too bad.
Yeah,
I
like-
was doing my part, staying inside,
Yeah.
social isolating, whatever. It's
Eating
fine.
off Serb, you know?
Yeah.
We were all eating good off the Serb.
I only got one of those checks.
Oh,
I didn't
damn.
I didn't reapply. I never did that. I should have though, because in hindsight, I don't think anybody actually had to pay them back. But there was fear mongering going around.
There was.
I was like, I'm gonna have to pay this back? I can't afford that. I'm not even working.
I mean, did you, when you claimed your first one, like, I don't want you to out yourself here, but did you not feel you were actually meant to be taking it?
Oh no, I definitely did feel like I'm because I wasn't working.
Yeah, and you.
I legitimately needed that money, but I just felt pressure from everybody else who was talking down on it online. I was like, maybe I shouldn't do this. Is this a bad thing? Am I?
Bro, there's very
Ripping
few
off the
times
government?
free money windows open up in your life.
Yeah.
And you don't look a gift horse in the mouth. That's what
That
I've
was the
learned.
second dump. Who
Oh
are we
yeah,
shouting?
shout out Legacy, third bucket there.
Legacy, third bucket.
Yeah, you want to say it? Legacy, bring you the buckets.
Legacy, bring me the buckets.
You nailed it.
Thank you.
All right, what is this? All natural ingredients, cloverleaf tuna. Okay.
Nice. Smells
That's
like fish.
That's a beat up fucking lid. I'm just gonna pick this up and throw it right in the dumpster.
Smart.
Yeah. COVID just being a simpler time like that. Summer
It was a simple
2020.
time.
Summer 2020. They opened things back up. Was that ultimately a foolish choice? Sure. It turns out we got way too ahead of ourselves.
Oh yeah.
But also, like, there wasn't a single country or province that, in my opinion, handled COVID well. Like, nobody knew the answer. I don't think anybody still knows what the right way would have been. So yeah, we opened it up, maybe too early, but had the greatest summer of our lives.
It was fun.
Everybody else was closed. You weren't getting served, but I think a lot of people were, and so people had extra money in their pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great summer. A simpler time. And yeah, those first few months where you're like, the first 2 weeks were definitely scary and awful. But I think after that, you just settled in like, well, I'm being told to stay home, and I'm doing that.
I'm
and
doing my part.
Yeah, there's no pressure to like. It was the first time in my life I didn't feel pressured to accomplish anything. So that was nice.
Yeah. That's where TikTok came into full swing because everybody was at home doing nothing. So
Yeah.
that's when it kind of exploded.
That's when it blew up.
You could find friends online
Yeah.
and have a somewhat lively social life that way.
You remember the failed attempt for House Party to be the relevant app? Do you remember House Party?
House party.
Right at the start. Before, what was weird was that
Oh yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a vague memory. You just woken something.
it was the video platform that we all thought we were going to use.
Yeah.
But its dumb thing was that like anybody could jump into your chat because it was like a house party, bro. And it turns out, yeah,
So
we
it's
don't.
like a raid. You
Yeah,
don't
I don't want
strangers
no.
entering your home.
No, I'm trying to have family book club remotely, and now I got fucking drunk people jumping into the chat. So yeah, that was crazy because what was the one? Skype. We all thought oh, this is finally Skype's time to shine. And somehow Skype squandered the giant lead they had.
Yeah,
and
and
now
Zoom.
Zoom is ubiquitous. Zoom is the only platform anybody talks about for any sort of video call.
Yeah.
I would even say that if it's almost at like a Xerox level where like, you know, like the brand, like whatever kind of call you're actually going to do, people say, oh, we'll do a Zoom. You know, even if they're actually going to call you on Teams or whatever, Zoom is just absolutely crushed it. Yeah, Skype had the huge head start, and then House Party seemed like that's what it was going to be, and then suddenly they just both got squashed by Zoom. Ooh, there's you got to get deep. You want in there?
I'll get it.
Yeah, get in there.
Hey.
You earned that one. Well played,
Somebody
detective.
was drinking well last night. Well,
Several people. Yeah, one guy.
One guy
really crushed a lot.
was on a bender
Yeah.
and he was littering everywhere.
Yeah. Well, you'd have to when you're that drunk. Yeah, what a time to be alive.
It is nice, yeah. It's not that bad, you know, in the grand scheme of things.
No.
We're in a time that we're seeing the downfall of America.
Yeah.
Who else gets to say that?
Who else? Yeah, you know, I always try and you gotta be grateful. Like as shitty as your life ever is, like you're not the guy stealing bikes. I walked by another guy who was just napping like along the wall there to the parking lot, and no, you gotta be grateful. As bad as our lives are, they're still inarguably some of the greatest lives being lived on the planet right now. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, not a bad way.
It could be much worse.
Could always be worse.
Like they can't be doing this in Gaza.
They can't.
They'd
They'd killed me doing this.
They would kill me doing this.
Yeah.
Man, that's awful.
You ever watch the movie? It was this fucking Jonah Hill produced skateboarding movie, like early
Mid-90s?
mid 90s,
Yeah,
yeah. And it's one of the things one of the kids says to the other, like, like I bet if you could see other people's shit, like you wouldn't trade your shit for theirs. And it's like it's this very clumsy statement that is very profound and true. It was something my dad used to say that. I thought that was trash. That was just a leaf when we were kids. But like, yeah, I wouldn't trade my problems for anybody else's. You think your shit's bad, but you wouldn't trade my problems for anybody else's. Look at this sweet little dog. Corgi's got to be some of the top cutest dogs in the world.
Oh yeah. I see why the Queen was obsessed.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this little squirrel door is pretty
Just
funny.
not
You can't open. Not
well,
home.
it's locked.
Yeah, it's locked. Yeah, they're private. They value their privacy.
I just wanted to see if they would open.
Nope. Yeah. Anyway, the show is called Trash Talk, but I don't actually, want it to be a negative show. But at the same time, you got anything you want to trash talk?
Oh man.
Anything.
Oh, streaming services.
Okay.
Why the fuck did it turn back into? We tried to get away from cable TV, right?
Yeah, and then it turns out that's
now-
what we wanted.
That's what we wanted all along.
Yeah,
They're
it's-
introducing these commercials like it's some brand new thing. I hate commercials. I'm in them a lot. And now I'm seeing them everywhere. I hate all sorts of ads.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see the thing that I paid to see, and I don't want to see your products that you're trying to push. I don't like a lot of consumerism. I don't like
You're telling me a
corporate
man
greed.
with pants like that doesn't love consumerism? these are the pants of a man who's trying to have as few material objects as possible. I'll tell you that right now.
I just want one really good pair of pants.
Yeah.
And that's it. This is it.
No, these are the pants of a communist hippie. There's no two ways about it.
That's true.
Yeah.
No, but I think that how streaming services they became the very thing they swore to destroy. The commercials of cable TV were awful. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Sitting through like 15 minutes of commercials just to watch another 10-minute stint of a movie.
Right. One half-hour TV show being 21 minutes and having 9 minutes of commercials. Yeah, look, it wasn't great, but the thing is, they swore to destroy cable, and they did. But the problem was,
They're greedy.
it's not even like they were only. I think it was a foolish gambit, because
that's a
basically,
rock.
yeah, they could only ever destroy cable by running at huge losses. I think for a long time.
Yeah.
And now that they've killed the competition, now they're like, okay, now it's time for us to make money. So now, and it turns out the only way to make money is to sell ads.
Yeah, I guess so.
So I don't think it's not what we actually all wanted. Though I will say, like now when you open a streaming platform and it's just like the content it is daunting. Like you do. I love when I go to a hotel and I just have the hotel TV and you're like, ooh, give me a slow rolling you know, not even a guide, but like just a channel that displays the content, like
Yeah.
just
The channel.
the channel, yeah, like just make it, slow it right down for me, baby. Let's go analog. I love being in a hotel. I'm like, oh, my only options are Fast and Furious 6 and CNN. Well, it's like,
Yeah.
I guess I'm watching Fast and Furious 6, and I love it.
They might have old CSI reruns
Yeah,
as well. which
Shark
is
Tank,
great.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember Latin Lover?
I don't.
What year are you born?
94.
94. Okay, you're a few years behind me. I guess when you needed to get your boners, it was already streaming, which must have been nice for you. Streaming pornography. There you go. Look at that.
That's a nice
Yeah.
grab.
Let me take you back to the mid 90s, and you didn't have streaming pornography, and if you wanted to get a boner as a 13, 14-year-old boy, you needed Teletino,
There was
Telemundo.
Showcase. TV.
Showcase, yes.
Showcase.
Friday Nights Without Borders, yes. That was the other major source of
There you go.
adolescent erections.
I do remember that.
Yeah, Red Shoe Diaries, starring a young David Duchovny. I have a whole bit about it. Now I just feel like I'm running material on it. We'll go into the park too, which is always pretty wild.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Yeah,
park would be.
They've done a lot better now that they've kind of busted up the encampment, and I think they pay like the city a lot more landscaping. But it's definitely it's pretty wild. That's where that's where I found the vodka and coconut.
Oh, nice.
Was in the park. Yeah.
Can I get this through the fence?
I don't. You tell me.
Come on. You bitch.
I think these construction
That's
guys will
okay.
have to clean up their own area.
I think so.
They honestly, these guys are slobs, so they better be cleaning up their own area, because like it's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's gross.
We do this every time, and yeah, I think they're in charge of their own area. Plastic bottle. But yeah, the streaming services, I listen to Bill Burr. That's the only podcast that I listen to, because I don't want to listen to too much comedians and get it into my own head. But he's my guy. Anyway, he has frequently been railing about like the streamers. They broke the industry. They came in and they grabbed all the market and have all the leverage, and they're not paying out based on the streams. It's like you can't make something on the old model of payouts in terms of royalties, but in this new streaming world, and they're super reluctant to open their pockets, even though they're making seems like billions of dollars, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. You say you're in lots of commercials, like so.
Oh, I've done quite a few. Yeah.
What since the Dufresne era?
I have done. Oh my God. Okay, I did a Petline insurance commercial.
Are you in the union?
No.
Okay.
I don't want to be, because
Yes, then you can't do a lot of
then
commercials.
I can't do the commercials.
Yeah.
That's where I get most of my work.
Fair
I'm
enough.
afraid if I do join, then I wouldn't get all of this other work.
That's
But
fair.
if I don't join, then I can kind of double dip. Like I can still apply and audition for union projects, but the likelihood of me getting them is way slimmer.
Right.
And I know that. But I like to be an underdog. I root for myself.
Hey, you got to. You absolutely have to.
Nice.
So is it
Another
your
condom.
is your ambition like within film to be on camera, or because I know you said you were a PA when we met, and then you were shooting
I
something
just-
for your friends the other night.
I just like doing video work. I don't know. It's just fun for me to do something that seems more lasting. I used to do like theater stuff, but that's a very short-lived experience.
Yeah, and
you
it's
get that
gone.
high,
It's
yeah.
gone after. Yeah, that's
Once
that's
it's gone, it's gone forever.
I love stand-up, but the shitty thing about stand-up is you're gonna have the greatest set of your life, and the moment it's over, it's over.
No
and
one
it's
will
gone.
remember that.
They
because
might
it-
remember
well,
it,
they will remember
but they
it,
won't be able to articulate to their friends. Oh man, he
Yeah.
really killed. Like the moment is only exists in the room, and yeah, that's why I'm kind of trying to do
And the
film
jokes,
stuff now.
The jokes won't be told verbatim. They'll
No.
retell the joke and they'll be like, "That's not even that funny,"
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they'll misquote you.
Yeah, or
And you would have said it hilarious.
and even if they get it right, there's just like there's nothing that exists. The moment in the room only exists in the room.
Yes.
And
And if you tell somebody, "Oh, I heard this joke," then you go proceed to tell it, it's not quite as funny as if you're in a natural cadence of a conversation.
Yeah.
And then bust it out naturally.
Yeah, there's something great about stand-up, but I think it's actually so great that stand-up only happens in the room. Even when you shoot stand-up and you make a great special or something, that's not actually stand-up. Stand-up
Yeah.
is what happens in the room, and I do love that feeling. But it's also, it's so good that it almost shouldn't be what like gets you what you want, because it is stand-up. Doing the set is almost its own rewards, and I find that film like it's a lot harder. It just there's so many more moving parts. You have to bring everything together.
Yeah, it's a collaborative effort.
It's a
for so
collaborative
many
effort,
efforts.
but because of that, you create a lasting thing, and those things actually can kind of net you a bigger reward in the long run.
Saw the trash talk that blew up.
Right.
And I was like, I know that guy. And then you so happen to be walking down the street the very next day.
Pizza in
like,
hand.
what the
You know how fucking smug I felt walking by people in line? Like, these idiots are trying to get into a bar right now. I've already got a pizza. I'm on my way home.
And you already had your beer in your
Yeah,
stomach.
yeah.
So
I've been drinking a bit too much this week, Tyson. I don't mind telling you. My girlfriend is gone, and I always joke when she's gone. It's no rules.
No rules.
And then like I've lost the ability to be exciting. Like the last time she went away, and it was no rules. All I did was plug in my like Astral light.
Yeah.
And I left it on all week, and I was like, take that, Chloe. You can't tell me how to live. But this week I was like, you know what? I'm actually gonna just stay out drinking till 2 a.m. every goddamn night.
Oof.
And last night was the end of a whole week of that, so I was coming home at midnight with the pizza. But yeah, I felt like everybody else in the village was making a stupid choice, and I had made the best choice.
Fools. Yeah, I shouldn't have stayed out till 2:30, but I did.
Oh, you were driving, right?
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah,
So I'm not feeling too rough today, thankfully.
that's why you're able to litter pick.
That is.
But honestly, I'll tell you right now, the rougher you feel, the better litter picking feels. It's very Calvinistic. The term I use is self-flagellating.
Yeah.
So it's nice after you've had a night where you're just a piece of shit, and the next morning you're picking up litter, and you're like,
You
well,
redeem yourself.
yeah, I'm not a total piece. I can't be a total piece of
No.
shit, right?
I'm not as bad as this guy littering this.
Yeah. I don't see anybody else out here picking up litter, so it's a pretty good way to feel smug.
Yeah. Like you're better than everybody.
Absolutely.
Because it's true.
We are. Oh man, that's the funny thing about the comments on that video that blew up was the amount of people saying like, well, it wasn't even that many, but there were definitely a few being like, oh, this isn't a great way to handle this, whatever. And I just want to be like, yo, man, I didn't see you out on a fucking Sunday morning, like, so if someone's like, try and do something to actually make a difference, like, you mean like picking up garbage every Sunday for the past 3 years?
Yeah, that is making a difference.
Yeah.
I'm apologizing now because I didn't see people doing this before. Like, I honestly, I don't think I was ever really up like,
Nobody's around, yeah.
at 9 to 11 on a Sunday. I'm a bit of a degenerate.
No, you don't
I
have
like
to
sleep
apologize.
in on Sundays.
Yeah,
but,
look, I do too, but as I've grown older, my sleeping in is like 8 o'clock, like that's a sleep in.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm drinking, I don't sleep well, so I wake up.
True.
I wake up early, and then I'm like, well, I may as well just get my day going. And then I'm a big napper, so like I will go right back to bed after this.
Should we empty this or?
Yeah, we can do it.
Is this one available?
Yeah, sure. I believe so.
I don't. It's gray. It's a.
Bucket number 5, Legacy Moving, bringing you the buckets. Call them for your commercial and residential moving needs. Tell them Trash Talk sent you. I should have negotiated a kickback on Trash Talk referrals. I think I just got. They bought me these microphones, which is very nice. These are expensive mics, but I probably could have wrung them out for more.
They are nice.
Okay, yeah, we can do this, but I will say also, we don't go deep in the alleys because much like the cigarette butts,
Yeah.
you won't get out. Fucking tomato, gross. That's not even gonna go in our bucket.
No, no.
Call that a direct deposit. Right to the bank, bang.
Hey, I have a relative of that tomato.
Oh,
Ketchup
the
packet.
ketchup. Yeah. Sometimes you just wonder. Well, that probably just came out of a dumpster.
Yeah.
But sometimes you find something further up the street, and you're like, did somebody use a ketchup packet right here?
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine what was going on in someone's night.
They could be just walking and decorating every fry individually,
Yeah.
and when they run out, they just let it go into the wind.
Done.
This is so pretty.
Yeah, these are remarkably nice yards. We
Very
talk
well
about it every
kept.
week, and I do think that like people tend to respect the areas more. Also, maybe these people just clean out their own yards, but like there's less trash around here.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if we could all have our own little boulevard gardens, but on my street it gets used for the church like daycare pickup.
Oh,
So
yeah.
people are always driving. My boulevard is just a patch of dirt. It's just horrifying. It's complete wasteland. And because of that, then people throw their cigarette butts there. Like, something looking like shit gives people
Yeah.
permission to treat it like shit.
That's true.
Little-
Uh-huh.
Those little strawberry candy, is that what I think it is? Like,
I think it's a lint.
okay, a lint is a premium candy. You know what I'm talking about? Those strawberry candies that came in like a strawberry rabbit.
The granny candy.
Yeah, the granny. I fucking hated those.
Yeah, they weren't good. but
No.
There was an abundance of them.
Yeah, there's not a single
Oh,
redeeming
look
quality.
at that cat. Look at that cat. That's a nice cat.
Oh wow. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. They call that a Siamese.
That's a nice fucking kitty right there.
That's nice. Okay, shout out to Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah.
Second shout out.
It's a nice fucking
That's a beautiful cat.
Hi.
He's a little terrified of us.
Here.
Let's
Oh,
see.
never mind. That's okay. You have a short little tail.
Short little
Very
tail,
cute.
very beautiful blue eyes.
Cross-eyed too.
Sometimes those Siamese, I feel like they're a little cross-eyed.
They might be inbred.
Yeah.
Alright.
Shout out Trailer Park. Are you watching any good shows right now?
I just finished rewatching.
What the fuck was that?
Cheese?
Is it?
That's like Carmex or something. I don't know. That's a weird one.
That is weird, and it's like, what is that?
Wax?
Is it wax?
Free, wait, something body cream.
Okay, well, it's horrifying.
It's body cream.
It's body cream.
Yuck.
Can't wait to rub that on my body. Yeah, sorry, you watching anything good right now?
I just rewatched all of Buffy, like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Did a whole binge. And that is a big commitment.
That's a
like
long show.
7 seasons.
Yeah.
25 episodes a season.
So things are going well for you, is what I'm hearing.
Oh yeah.
When you're rewatching a show from the mid '90s,
yeah.
things are you gotta pick up some hobbies or something, man. For the record, Buffy's a good show. Like, I'm not actually shitting on Buffy.
Oh no.
Yeah.
There were some terrible things in the show, but
well, I mean,
you know,
look, it was YTV, like it was the content that we all felt excited about as kids at that time.
Vampires.
And when you say all things, you mean like what? Like the sexual, like there I feel like.
Oh yeah.
Is that what some of it's problematic now?
There is some very problematic stuff. Like there's grooming of children in that show that was so normalized. I was
Sure.
like, why is that a thing?
That's what we wanted, I think, when we were kids. We wanted.
Yeah, we wanted to be groomed by older.
Well, it was exciting. Look, there was definitely something exciting about Buffy and Angel, and then Spike. Like, you know, they're for a kids show, it got pretty sexual, and you know,
it did.
Yeah,
very much so. Like they had a whole episode about Buffy losing her virginity to Angel and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and then he goes all
that made
crazy.
him evil. Yeah,
made him
and
evil.
didn't Xander's
the worst character.
Didn't he basically get raped though? In some way, like wasn't he being controlled by something?
Yeah,
and then
there's a lot of like. There was a lot of rapey stuff in that show.
Yeah,
and there was a very blatant rapey thing that happened with Spike and everything, and that threw me for a fucking loop, because why make a character likable and redeemable and go through this whole arc and then ruin it all by that, and then try to make another redemption arc after that to make him an okay guy after doing that?
Have you heard of Common Side Effects?
Yes, I've watched that. I watched that whole season.
So I'm only
Amazing.
2 episodes in because I really liked it. Now I'm gonna wait till Chloe comes home because I don't want to have to rewatch it with her. I'd rather just watch it through with her.
Great show.
Yeah, no, it's Mike Judge is like. I mean, did you ever watch King of the Hill?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when I was a kid, King of the Hill, like it came on after The Simpsons, and I was like, why isn't this The Simpsons? Like, this is weird. But now I'm like, no, it was a great show.
Yeah, I didn't appreciate it as much as a kid. But
Yeah,
now looking back,
it was too smart for us. It
Yeah.
was too smart for a kid. Whereas The Simpsons wasn't too smart for a kid, so I thought it was meant. You know, they came on back to back, but they were just so different.
Yeah.
And then Silicon Valley, I think, is an all-time great show as well.
I actually haven't seen that.
You should. Mike Judge is he don't miss. Mike Judge don't miss. Yeah. Well, sometimes the thing about these boulevards is you think you have it clean, but you have to see it from the other side, and then you notice a bunch of stuff. So we'll double back on the other side of the street just because I love feeling like I've cleared a zone. You know. So.
Not a light comb over.
No. I was saying on a few episodes, like Chloe, when she does it, she talks about getting like the rush from every pick. I feel nothing on an individual pick. I'm just a robot of picking. But when you walk back and you just look down the streets and you're like, that is a pristine street. That's what gets my fucking blood pumping. I played a lot of video games when I was younger. I'm a completionist. You know?
Completionist.
Yeah,
you
I
have to get
wanna know.
all the trophies, otherwise what's the point?
What's the point? I want to know I got 100% of the Korok seeds, so on and so forth. The hot shower you have after garbage picking, it's the greatest shower of your life.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm getting ready for that.
Manual labor and a shower, they go hand in hand.
And especially this, I mean, it's the filthiest labor of all. Not that we actually get that dirty, but you know, psychologically, you definitely want to cleanse.
It stained my mind.
Yeah.
I've seen
the
things I
you
can't
see.
unsee.
I can't remember, did I mention this when you showed up? Like, I'm opening for Kenny versus Spenny tonight.
No way.
Yeah, they're at the Exchange event. So actually, if you want to come, I can get you a ticket.
Yeah?
Yeah, I can just put you on the list.
That would be amazing.
Yeah,
Holy
come on.
shit.
Honestly, bring a friend if you want. I'm sure I can get at least 2 people in.
Oh, fuck.
But yeah, I have no idea what their act is like. And the whole thing is just very poorly, I shouldn't say the whole thing is poorly organized, but having an opener has been poorly organized. So like I really was only contacted by the local booker yesterday.
Whoa.
And then it was just like that the promoter sort of hit him up like, oh yeah, and who's opening? And the booker's like, that's on you. And the guy's like, well, I have like $0 to put at that. So find me someone. So I'm doing it for a pittance.
Oh.
So basically, if I may
You're
as
doing
well.
it for the love of the art, though.
I'm doing it for the curiosity of what are Kenny versus Spenny like now. You know, like
What are
I
they?
don't know what the act is.
Yeah,
I
I'm
can't
sure.
imagine they go up there and just bicker. Like it can't be like live Kenny versus Spenny.
No,
I-
they make each other lick other other audience members' feet or something.
Yeah.
What do they do?
I don't know.
How
And-
many feet can you lick?
Yeah. And I don't even
Go.
know. I don't even know if they're called Kenny versus Spenny. They might just be called Kenny and Spenny now. Like I hope they're not adversarial. For sure, they're both trapped in the act. I'm sure neither of them wants to be there, but it's the most lucrative thing they can do. Hey, ding, 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 ding. You know what, Tyson? That one's all yours.
Thank you.
Bang. Oh,
Oh,
how embarrassing.
how embarrassing.
False pick.
My bad.
Yeah. You did it.
This tea's for you, Winnipeg.
There you go. What a fucking busy day it turned into.
It is a very busy day now.
Yeah.
I didn't expect this, but I'm glad it turned into it.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the miracles of litter picking. You know, you put yourself out there, you get out in the world, and things happen. Nothing happens when you sit at home in a reclined position. I know that.
That's true.
Nothing good happens when you're fucking
Masturbation
slumped
might
over.
happen.
Yeah, that's
You know?
it. Yeah,
It could lead to that,
it could, and often does.
and does sometimes.
Now I'm just thinking about Buffy and how, like, I mean, Sarah Michelle Gellar was just like so beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Is so beautiful, I should say. And
Is still.
vampires are inherently the most sexual of all the monsters.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
There's
That's-
nothing sexual
yeah.
about a Frankenstein.
No. Well,
Or even
you could customize the avatar though, so you
that-
could get
yeah,
the
I guess
sexiest parts of all
depends
of
what
them,
parts you put in
Yeah.
your Frankenstein.
right?
But
Could be
yeah,
very
there's just
sexy.
with Buffy. I mean, there's really only one way it was going to go, and that's hypersexual ultimately. Because yeah, I forgot. Towards the end, she has this ongoing sort of S&M, well, not S&M, but like she has this horrifying relationship with Spike where she knows it's bad, but she can't stop doing it. Right.
Yeah, it's like it's her self-harm. Basically.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean, that was programming for 14-year-olds. That was too much.
Yeah, it got wild. They literally the first time they did it, they tore down a building.
Right. This is good. This is good intro footage. I try and have different shots of garbage for my intro sequence. Buffy was good. I liked Reboot a lot. Reboot was a
yeah.
great show,
Another good '90s show.
and also got real sexual. No, I'm just kidding. That one they kept it. Aside from Andrea being super hot,
Yeah.
they kept it pretty straightforward. I actually just watched a thing where the CRTC made them change Dot's design because she was too sexual, and they gave her the big uniboob, and it became like a running joke amongst the creators of how like they'd sneak in little jabs in the dialogue about the CRTC kind of fucking them up and jamming them up for things and making things, you know,
That is pretty funny.
weird notes. Yeah, like Dot being too sexual, crazy. Because then yeah, Andrea was a babe. You remember what I'm talking about, right?
I do.
Yeah,
I'm
the
pretty
latest
sure.
one.
I will have to look up the picture. Can
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can you pull up reference images in the video?
I
Like,
will,
You'll be pulling these up.
I'm trying
Can you
not to
edit?
have to do that much editing, but in this
No.
case, yes, I'll crop in an Andrea pic so
Yeah.
everyone can know.
Just to shout out for that.
Get the soiled shorts in there. Maybe I'll leave the somebody I guess could come for
Somebody
these
can
sandals.
still get the sandals, but I don't know about shorts.
These sandals are pretty beat up.
They were ripped up, by the way. I can't
Yeah.
donate those shorts.
No,
I'm not
no.
gonna.
When I started, there was like really only like 3 or 4 people, and I guess the core group was 3 or 4, and then you'd see some other strays showing up. But now like the core group is like 7, 8, and then sometimes there's 3 or 4 strays, and like there's 11 people picking up litter on a Sunday. It goes quick if everybody does it. You
Yeah.
know?
And the area is a little nicer.
Area's a little nicer. We can take this is like one of the worst dumping spots because there's just
Yeah, the open concept garbage.
the
is
open
not-
concept garbage. I don't know who thought of that. And there's just actually no good dumpsters around this area too. Like
Yeah.
the next sort of most easy dump spot is behind that Quickie Mart. They have a bunch of bins, but just like the residential style ones, and they're always full. So we kind of have to dump
Kinda
here.
have to dump here. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
It's the only way
hopefully
we'll make
nothing
it.
falls through the cracks. Come on.
It's not even that it blows back out the top.
Yeah.
It makes no
It's
sense.
the light plastic stuff that'll re-litter in the park.
Exactly.
I wonder how many pieces of litter have been picked up by the crew and picked up again because it's
really.
just blown out.
Straw. I'm gonna get you too, buddy.
Nice.
Thought
Save
you were
the
getting
turtles.
away. Thought you were getting away, did you? This is actually a paper straw.
Oh, good.
Turtles are safe. All those Manitoba turtles are safe.
I actually picked up a straw wrapper. It might have been from that very thing.
There you go.
So,
Bucket, is it bucket number 5?
I me. So.
Bucket number 5 brought to you by Legacy Moving. Legacy bringing you the buckets this month. Call them for your commercial and residential moves. Yeah, it's actually my friend's moving company, and I will do some moves with them. Like I'm very lucky to kind of mostly, you know, exist as a background actor and comedian. But I'm not above making a little side cash. So yeah, I jump on the trucks when they're stuck.
Yeah.
And man, I'm just so soft. Like you know, I'm a lifetime of the arts that. Well, for starters, I need to nap in the afternoon. Like I've set up my whole life so I can always nap. So just the fact that these guys push past 2 o'clock, I'm like, fellas, what are we doing here? Like I got to get a nap in, and they're like, we have to unload all this shit. I'm like, just fire me. Just let me off the truck now. You don't even have to pay me. And yeah, all I can think every time we're doing it is there's this video of my nephew when he was like 4 years old, and he's got a little hammer, and he's just walking around banging on stuff, and he goes, bang, bang, bang. I'm a worker man. Bang, bang, bang. I work a lot sometimes, but I'm still a kid. And yeah, every time I'm on the truck, that's all I'm thinking. I'm a worker man. I work a lot sometimes, but I'm still a kid.
Yeah, that is a good mental image.
Yeah, that's what I am next to these real guys who actually like. And I'm always like, you know, trying to figure out like, is this day going to be short because I just want to be done? And they're always like, fuck, man, like that was such a. Is there another move we can get on? Like these guys are trying to get 8 hours, and I'm like, yeah, I kind of would love to nap. Naps really dictate a lot of my life.
Dime bag.
Dime bag?
Nice.
Empty dime bag?
Oh yeah, empty. I think.
There you go.
I grabbed it by the bottom. 1 second.
Hey, dime bag.
Yeah, it's empty.
And Canadian Club. Somebody had somebody had a fun time. Cheers. Well, yeah, as we start to meander our way back, and this signals the end of the walk, is there anything else that you feel you didn't get to trash talk that you would like to trash talk?
Oh man, there's so many things. Bad drivers in Winnipeg. Come on.
Yeah.
Grow up.
Grow up. But I mean, everybody thinks they're a good driver,
Yeah,
and statistically, some of them have to be bad drivers, right?
I think I'm an okay driver. I avoid a lot of accidents.
Do you have any demerits on your record?
I think I have 2 demerits right now. So
Oh,
not the
two-
best.
well,
not
two-
the best driver, but
Wait, as in you've gotten 2 demerits in your whole life, or you're at -2?
I think I'm at negative.
Oh man, that's terrible.
It's terrible.
That's
right now.
yeah, you can't talk shit. What?
No,
do you,
actually,
like,
wait. Sorry, I'm still above. I got
Yeah.
5 demerits like recently, so I was knocked down from like something higher up, like 10, 15, but doesn't matter.
You're still in the positives.
I'm going to buy it back because the claim is bullshit.
Okay.
There was no damage on the car.
Okay.
Don't claim that shit.
We're trash
Anyways,
talking.
My car, the front license plate holder got smashed. I was like this little glass thing. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Their
So
car was fine. But
you're overall a positive driver.
overall,
Because
I
it like
am-
it tops out at like plus 18 or something.
I
So like
think
you
it-
could have been up
there-
there, and then
there's-
you took a 5 hit.
they're saying it's going up to 20.
Okay. But the
So-
point is, if for
Yeah.
years you were a good driver and then you took this 1 hit,
Then
you
the
should
1
still
hit.
be above 10
Oh yeah,
at
I'm
least.
pretty sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Pretty sure.
That's reasonable. But it sounds like you were at fault in an accident.
I was at fault in that one.
Okay.
But that's
After years
I
and
don't-
years of hanging out, because I also don't drive the most, but I'm a plus 18 for years and years now. I'm at the max end.
if you bike a lot, that
That
helps.
that's what gives me this dump truck ass that I'm so proud of. I bike everywhere.
I can tell.
Yeah. Yeah. How could you not? Yeah. I love I think it's a car-centric city. I'm not faulting anybody who
No.
who has to drive, because like probably you actually have to, but I don't have to.
Well, the city
So-
planning here was just the foundation wasn't set for this large of a population. I don't think. I
Yeah.
don't know if it was ever supposed to be what it is now.
That guy looked like the guy from Common Side Effects. Did you see him?
Yeah.
That was a dead ringer.
I think his name is Cody.
You know that guy?
I think I know that
If
guy.
his shirt was open, then
Yeah,
that was the guy.
that was him.
Don't neglect that.
I won't.
Yeah.
I shan't.
You fucking pranced at that.
I
You
did.
got real excited for that. But yeah, look, I don't fault anyone for having to be a car person in the city, but yeah, I do think it's like, I don't know, the whole world is too reliant on cars. We fucked up. It's one of the many ways we fucked up as
Yeah.
people, the reliance on cars.
I'm getting back into biking, but I'm afraid. I'm afraid of it being stolen. So
Oh yeah,
I'm
that-
only gonna ride around a shitty bike.
That's yeah. I only have a bike that I've like paid $100 for. The sad thing is, I bike so much. I should have a $1,000 bike. Like I should have a premium piece of equipment, and yet I don't.
You are the premium piece. Of
Yeah,
equipment
I
on
am.
that thing.
I can turn any bike into a premium piece of equipment. But Yeah, I'm scared of it. Would devastate me if I had $1,000 bike stolen. I would never recover emotionally. So I only buy a cheap bike. But yeah, if you buy a cheap bike and you don't leave it overnight anywhere and you have a good U-lock, like I mean, I've been riding the same bikes for years. One time I got one stolen just before the pandemic, and that one wasn't really my fault. It wasn't the greatest lock job of my life, but yeah, basically, it's very possible to keep a bike for years and years here. It's also very possible to have it stolen immediately. So
Yeah.
people who say like, oh, how do you bike in the city for so long? Like it's so dangerous because the drivers are bad, and they have a lot of animosity. I
For
find
cyclists especially.
yeah, but I find that like I've been biking as my main mode of transportation since I was like 16. Never been hit by a car. Had close calls, but like you just have to treat it like everyone is trying to kill you and be super vigilant.
Oh, yeah.
And I actually feel like I even bike with my headphones in, which I probably shouldn't admit, but yeah, I'm a headphones in, no helmet biker with 0 incidents because I'm always scanning. I'm always in like, people say the drivers are shitty, but like honestly, a lot of cyclists are shitty.
Yeah.
A lot of cyclists blow through things and like
they don't stop.
They don't make it clear what they're doing. Like I'm constantly making eye contact.
Signaling.
Wait, yeah, and, like not just using the standards like you know, waving people out. Sometimes people are annoyed because you know, a bike gets in front of them and now they're trapped behind. So I'm always kind of clocking someone who's waiting for me to pass, and I'll try and wave them on. Like, no, you just make the turn, you get ahead. I don't want you to have to pass me. And drivers appreciate that. I get a lot of waves, and yeah, you just have to be kind of like accountable. I don't know.
Yeah. No,
Accountable that if somebody kills me, it's not going to matter that like, oh, I was actually I had the right of way. Well, now I'm dead. So like,
Yeah,
I'm just
it
going to be
doesn't
extra
matter.
cautious, you know?
Yeah, avoiding accidents at all costs, even at the detriment of your own deadlines.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, look, I don't
have those same pants. I was wearing them like last night.
That doesn't surprise me at all. You have, yeah, you
I'm
have
a flowy pant kind of guy.
You're a
now.
flowy pant kind of guy, and I don't want to say what kind of guy that is, but it's a flowy pant kind of guy. Thanks for coming on. You're the first. The goal is, you know, maybe get high profile guests,
Yeah.
and
Not
that
this
just gets
guy.
more eyes. But no, the other goal is like show that if you walk with anyone, you'll have a nice conversation. You know, it's litter pickings for everybody.
People might recognize me from those Dufresne commercials.
People might. Hey, I'm gonna make sure that we splice those in.
Oh my God. Oh no. Yeah, you could.
I
You
could. Yeah. Dufresne's not gonna get mad at me.
No, I
I'm
don't
putting,
think
I'm putting
so.
more eyeballs on their commercials.
But I think they took them off the air. They didn't. I don't think it matched their vibe. And after like, I don't know, 2 or 3 months, they were like, I don't think we're bringing in the right customers here.
You're getting all these guys with limp dicks in here.
Yeah, it's like they expect us to fix their lives.
Yeah.
How are we supposed to do that?
That's funny. But you said they're still on YouTube.
Yeah, they're still on YouTube.
Yeah, so that's how I'm gonna find them, and that's how I'm gonna splice them. And neither you or Dufresne can stop me.
I did an A&W commercial as well.
Oh, that's
I
huge.
met Alan, the A&W.
Oh, so wait, you're just one of the guys who's like, you're telling me this is all Canadian?
Yeah, but they didn't tell me like what it was for or anything. They were like, burger lovers, welcome, blah, blah, blah. And it was for promotion of the Bison Burger.
Right.
And it was actually really good. And I
So-
was surprised.
They did feed you the lines though.
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
so
not
that
at all.
I'll see
So it
your
was-
genuine
It
reaction
was
to eating a
genuine
bison burger.
reactions, but they got people to apply to be on it though.
Okay.
It was still like
So
part
it's
of
still a commercial casting call.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was still a commercial casting call, but different because they didn't want to tell you what it was or who
Right.
you were gonna meet.
Because if people knew they could meet Alan, you get all sorts of star fuckers,
I
right?
know,
That's
you
the problem.
do. That's a thing, and they need to keep that man away from them. He's had trouble in the past.
Oh wow. It's a real Jared situation.
Yeah.
How's it going? Danny, this is my buddy Tyson.
Hi, Tyson.
I,
Nice and Danny.
you?
do you want to drop that in the bucket?
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We ran into each other drinking on Osborne. Well, I was drinking. He wasn't. Lame.
Sober. I know.
And yeah, I ran into him at like midnight last night and invited him out. Well, yeah, I think you can put us down for like 7 buckets.
Sounds good. Would you like a T-shirt? We got a
Oh,
T-shirt.
sure, yeah. Can I
Okay.
crop it?
We have your right size.
You make it a
Yeah?
crop top.
I would love
That
to.
never
Yeah.
occurred to me. I should cut the sleeves off mine.
Do it.
Show off these capped shoulders. Here, let's do a quick. There you go. Episode number 4. There it is.